He paid $121,000 to his former mistress and staffer after she threatened to sue him for sexual harassment over this voicemail.
You're fired. Do you hear me? Don't tell me whether it's correct or not.
Tell me why else I'm fired.
There's no why else.
Yeah, there is.
No, because you're fired because I said that you know, it's not the judge and the jury. Okay? You're fired. Do you hear me? Call. What's your name? Today was your last day. If you want to keep on thinking like that, you know, that I'm not being fair or somehow this is a negotiation, this is not a negotiation. Okay? You know, you're not in a position to negotiate with me on this, okay? It's my decision. Okay? You work at my pleasure. Do you understand what that means?
When the two began their alleged affair, Mahoney was campaigning on the promise of restoring morality to a disgraced district.
Tim is a common-sense businessman who believes in faith, family, and personal responsibility. Tim Mahoney will help end the fraud, waste, and corruption in Washington.
Every generation has a responsibility to turning over to the next generation an America that's more moral and one that offers greater opportunity to their children.
We now continue with Dick Maher. Is this politically fatal?
Well, I hope it is for the congressman, but look at the double standard here. Foley, who was thrown, that is his name, who was thrown out, never had sex with anybody. This guy spends $120,000 of taxpayer money to shut up his girlfriend, and Emanuel is out there defending him. But it's deeper than just this guy. Look at the head of the Senate Banking Committee gets a mortgage below rate from the leading scam artists in the subprime business, Chris Dodd. The chairman of the House Banking Committee, Barney Frank, has a gay lover for 9 years who's one of the leaders of Fannie Mae, the institution that he refused to crack down on. And the head of the Tax Writing Committee, Charlie Rangel, hasn't reported $75,000 of income because he forgot he had a rental property in the Dominican Republic. This is the change that the Democratic Party is going to bring. I don't like Republicans either, but for goodness sakes.
Well, you don't like Republicans either. We got that on tape? Because you said in your recent column the malefactors who made out like bandits were Republican, the administration regulators Republican, and for most of the time Congress was Republican when in your most recent column about this stuff.
Those are all three obviously true. And the point that I made in that column is that Franklin D. Roosevelt's first inaugural, where he talks about the hatred of Wall Street greed and the dissatisfaction and the disillusionment with its leadership, is very relevant to the politics today. And we mustn't underestimate the potence and the strength of that force. But it isn't helped when you have characters like Rangel, Dodd, this guy, and Barney Frank running the major committees in Congress at a time when the financial system's blowing up.
Hey, Dick, they all got kickbacks, all of them. They all, and they didn't perform their regulatory oversight for the American taxpayer, while Franklin Raines and Jim Johnson, economic advisors for Obama's, Raines made $90 million in 6 years. They're all kicking back money. The number one recipient is Dodd. The number two recipient is Obama. And he's got very little scrutiny in this whole thing. It is infuriating. Now, back to this tape. This was the defining issue in 2006. It's the same district. The affair allegedly is going on while the guy's campaigning on family values. And the
More
issue
than
is
anything else
Rahm
that cost the
Emanuel.
Republicans Congress.
Well, the ABC piece points out that Rahm Emanuel confronted him on this. And he was questioned extensively about whether he held it, whether he knew about it, whether he was responsible or knew about people having it and releasing it. And I want to know what he knew about this and when he knew and why didn't he do the same thing.
And Sean, here you have somebody that first used tax money and then used campaign money to buy silence from this woman. You also have, and we write about this in Fleeced, 44 instances of members of Congress who have their wives on their campaign payroll. It's the same deal. It's my campaign money, and I'll spend it as I want on my campaign, or hushing up my mistress, or augmenting my personal income.
But, Dick, here's what happened when the Foley issue broke. It was a defining issue in the campaign. This is by every look, and I think what Foley did was despicable, so I don't want to be misunderstood here. But I will tell you that this is as despicable and disgusting, and I give ABC a lot of credit for running the story. But we're following
Yeah,
up. Where is the media coverage on this? And where's the investigation into Rahm Emanuel and what he knew and when he knew it and why he didn't reveal this, considering this was such a big issue involving Mark Foley?
And let's remember that Mr. Foley was in touch with this page, wrote back and forth, exchanged photos, but there was no physical intimacy. Here you have a guy who uses taxpayer money to cover up an affair.
Oh, well, let's see what the media, the Obama mania media, does in this one, or whether or not they'll follow through on my theory, which is journalism's dead this year. Dick Morris, thanks for